Hi there, I'm Becky and welcome to today's video where we will be dyeing some yarn. So that is so exciting. I have been wanting to do this for the longest time. All of the materials and tools have been waiting in my closet for so long, and I finally managed to get the courage to start this today. So the plan, I have to hang them and then pre-mordant and then mordant and then the dye process. So I'm going to be taking you along with me throughout this learning journey today. So the plan is I'm going to dye 2 skeins with Rit Dye, a denim blue, azul blue, something like that. And the other ones I will be dyeing naturally with some avocado skins and avocado pits, so that is going to be so exciting. But the first one we're going to be doing is the Rit Dye. So I've already hanged. Now I have to scour the yarn. The plan is basically I would like to make a speckled blue yarn. I'm not sure if I want the full solid color blue because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that, and I think the speckled is just so pretty and so nice, and I think it would be a lot of fun to try and replicate that. So yeah, let's do this. Okay, so welcome to the kitchen. I am sorry if it's echoey in here. The Hanks just finished scouring and I just removed the excess water. So now I'm going to put them in a bit of a vinegar bath. I am going to use a cup of vinegar and just add that to a pot and just leave it to sit for about 10 to 15 minutes maybe, just so I know it's completely soaked in there. Okay, so we are outside now and I really hope you are able to hear me. I don't have a mic yet, so I really hope the audio is not too bad. So we have our yarn that's been laying in a vinegar mixture just for a while, and we have our dye here as well, and we have an aluminum tray. So I hope this is not going to be a problem because apparently you're supposed to use stainless steel, but I just have the aluminum and it's a bit short as well. It's supposed to be a bit longer, but we're gonna work with that. So now the fun part begins, but first I feel silly. I can't see anything. So as always, safety first. Be sure that you are wearing the proper PPE. I have some gloves on just to make sure I don't actually touch the powder because I will be using my fingers to sprinkle them on the yarn. Some safety glasses just to make sure the powder doesn't get in my eyes, and of course a mask because you don't want to breathe in the powder. I am outside, but I like to breathe. So yeah, so let's get started. So while I'm talking, I'm just not gonna have these on. Okay, so I'm just going to be draining these ever so slightly. Okay, so I hope that will be more or less fine. The problem is now my gloves are wet though. So I'm not going to be able to sprinkle them, but I'm going to open this and just check. Maybe I can just sprinkle it out of the box like that, maybe. Okay, so that's done now. I'm going to leave it for just a little while just to give the dye a chance to actually absorb into the fabric. And yeah, I hope I didn't make too much pickles or too little, I don't know yet. So yeah, and I also just weten the yarn just a little bit more. I just sprinkled some extra water on there because I just felt like it was not getting enough moisture because the the particles weren't actually sticking. It just looked like they were just sitting on top and they were not actually absorbing, so I just sprinkled some water. So let's give it a few moments and just see what it's doing. So we have a bit of a situation. So the hanks have completely dried and everything, but for some reason there are spots of yellow and orange in the yarn, and I have no idea what caused this. I'm not even sure how this happens. But I've googled it, and it might be because when I was scouring the yarn or washing the yarn, I think I might have forgotten to actually rinse the yarn out, to rinse out the soap. So maybe it's because of a chemical imbalance somewhere in the yarn. Maybe I did something wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure how to combat this now. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to unravel this and painfully dunk it into some of the dye just to try and get rid of the color. But now I also don't know how the dye is going to react on the yellow or orange, so I don't know, but I know I'm very disappointed. And also the alum for the avocado dye was supposed to be at the shop today after ordering it online, and it's not there, so this video won't be able to go out on Friday of this week as I had hoped. But that also means that I can now actually finish the project I have in mind for these for next week, so maybe it's for the best. So yeah, but yeah, I have to figure out how to fix this screw up now. And maybe if you know, or if something similar has happened to you, please let me know what I did wrong. Maybe also it's because I didn't give it a proper vinegar dye. I did put in vinegar, but I diluted it with some water, so maybe it was not acidic enough. I don't know. But anyway, now comes the absolutely terrible task of trying to fix this. Okay, so it's a few days later now, and the alum has finally arrived at the shops. After a week of waiting, it's finally there. So I was able to prepare the avocado hanks. So those are good now. I have already scoured them, so I just put them in a soapy bath, let them just soak a bit. I already did the mordanting process as well. So I used alum and I used a bit of cream of tartar as well, and I just mixed that up in a big pot, simmered it for a while, and then I just put the yarn in there so that it can just soak in that mixture for a while. It was about an hour or so, and it was just simmering. The most important part of this process is never to let your water boil. After that, you just remove it. Then comes the fun part with the avocado peels. Now you just take your avocado peels, make sure they are nice and clean, and then you just rip them up. I just put them in a blender and just whipped it down on it. So did that. Then you once again simmer your water, put the avocado peels in the water, let it simmer for about, I believe, an hour or so. Then you just leave it overnight. Of course, turn off your stove first, so that your color of your water becomes this rich orange, almost brown orange. Then you know that most of the color has transferred from the peels into the water. So that brings us to today, where I just have to remove all of the avocado peels out of the water, add some washing soda, because your mixture or your water is supposed to be alkaline and not acidic, but I don't have pH strips, so I cannot actually figure out what the pH of my mixture is, so I'm just going to add some washing soda anyways. And yeah, then just put in the hanks and wait for the magic to happen. So that's what we are going to be doing today. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, I actually started with the blue dyed hanks that I did, and I made a mitten, or I was busy making a mitten. Just look at how beautiful that worked up though. It's so pretty. Blue's not really my color. I'm not sure why I went for blue, so I don't know. But I started with a mitten, and then I realized that's kind of boring. So instead, I went for a very, very mild color work pattern that I just drew up the other day and started with that instead. And I believe it is quite cute indeed. So yeah, I'm just making some mittens with these. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the other hank, because I might have dyed way too many, because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But this is quite pretty. I am enjoying this. I think it's a bit big. Definitely a bit big. But yeah, I'll just wing it from there. So I started with these as well, but I'm not going to have enough white to finish both of the mittens for the video, but I'll just see how far I'm able to get. And I don't even know what I'm going to do with the pink yarn yet. I have no idea. I think maybe like a beanie or something. It's winter now, so I mean maybe something like that. Otherwise, I'm not sure, because I don't think 2 hanks are going to be enough for socks. Or, yeah, I don't know. Give me some ideas in the comments. What can I do that's wintry, that's good for merino yarn? So, yeah, but enough talking. Let's go dye with avocado. Never thought I would be saying that. Okay, so that's done now. Now we just need to leave it for about half an hour to an hour just to simmer a bit more, and then we'll remove it and let it dry. There we go, guys. That was so much fun to do, and it's interesting how the avocado dye ones actually came out better than the actual Rit Dye, but also I think I figured out what I might have done wrong. So on the packaging it actually states that you should use warm water, and I did not use warm water with the blue dye. So next time I do this, that's definitely going to be the first thing I will change. I think that might have been the reason for the blue and orange speckling, or the yellow and orange speckling. So yeah, but just to show you once again, this is the most beautiful color. It's not, I wouldn't say it's pink though. I feel it's a bit more, I don't know, maybe browny pinky maybe. But this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I also managed to finish one of the mittens, so this one actually came out so well. I think I could have planned it a little bit better, but I wasn't planning on doing the second round of color work. I was just planning on doing the first one, so that one is not exactly like in the middle, or maybe I should have done 3 of them. I'm not sure, but I think those are quite beautiful and quite fitting for the winter as well. So I just need to make the other one now, of course, but I'm not in the mood to do the other one now. I think I've had my fair share of mittens these past few weeks. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you more or less understood the process behind it. This is definitely something I would like to do more of, because I think it's so easy to just depend on the stores or the shops, and when you don't find the exact color you're looking for, you are just disappointed and you just choose something else. And I think we forget a lot of times that you can just dye it yourself, and it's so much fun. So yeah, and also I think I already showed the clip of my husband's idea of how to do the hanking, and that was just so funny. He just walked in one night while I was busy with the hank around the 2 chairs, and he was just standing there looking at me. He was just, what are you doing? And I told him, no, well, this is how you do it. This is how you do a hank. And he's just like, give me one moment. And he's just off to the garage, and I just hear sanding and I hear a whole bunch of noise. And when he comes back, he's just like, let's use this. Where's your yarn? Where's your yarn? Let's try this. And it was just so sweet. So yeah, I have a very effective way of making hanks now. Now I just need the weird spinny wheel thing, because oh my goodness, the amount of times I had to untangle yarn and everything throughout this process was just horrible. But anyways, please let me know if you enjoyed this and if you would like to see more of this. This was so much fun for me, and it just puts just that little bit more personality and like emotional things to the things you make at the end of the day. It was so much fun. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.